Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever Redeemapalooza, a redemption on damage on procedurally generated gauntlet of atrocity. It's going to cost you 3 points to join in on a race. Excuse me, 2 points to join in on a race. 3 points back if you finish, netting 1 point in total. Extra points for third place, second place, and first place at 6, 9, and 12, respectively. And then big points on the final race of 12 to give a couple other people just one last chance to win it big in the end. We're going to over the track real quick because we only have 20 seconds, but we got Mini Steve, 3/4 Steve, a bunch of bumps, molasses drip pan, bumps, 3/4 Steve, mustache with a bomb in the middle, Big Steve, pins and bumps, Mini Steve, 3/4 Steve, 3/4 Steve, half Steve again, and then moguls into the guaranteed finish. It's going to be a straight shot one. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 9 marbles in, ready to go for the first race of the day. Ooh, Dr. Rex perfectly timing the approach on the window there of the mogul. Already the marbles are getting off to a good start here. Peridot, Grenzanos, and Droska trying to boost ahead, and looks like a lot of damage being done right now. Droska gets the lead, going up into the Mini Steve, needs to be careful, gets deflected by the blade. Peridot tries to swing, but strikes backwards, trying to go for the other marbles, and that's not going to do them very well. Droska starting to bounce on the bouncy track, getting some air, jumps and strikes off the map, and Droska a little over-calculated in their measures there. Sinister Van also bouncing. It looks like a good number of variant 2 on the physics. That's right, these pieces can have physics variant 0, 1, or 2. 0 regular, 1 slows you down, and 2 bounces you. Both side to side on the walls and up and down on the top surface. And the windows claim 3 marbles simultaneously, and just like that, we are down to 4. Explosions going off. Peridot trying to stay alive as they enter the mustache, and that is a fast-spinning mustache. They need to be careful. They do make the dismount. Spoontree and Dr. X making it around. Sensei Balk having trouble with the 3/4 Steve. As they go around, it looks like Dr. X has taken out Spoontree by a strike of force, and with only 3 marbles remaining, that means all will be getting big points if they can finish this out. Peridot needs to watch out for the window. No! Doesn't have enough speed to clear the gap. Falls to their death and has been eliminated. It's going to be Dr. X and Sensei. The last 2 fighting for points. Can either of them finish this out? Sensei in the back, taking it slow, just trying to stay alive. Oh, bad dismount towards the center. And oh no! They finally made it past the first one. But the second trapdoor opens and swallows them whole right at the last second. And that's going to give Dr. Rex the advantage of the follow camera. That's right. Whatever marble is last alive, either because they haven't finished or because they're the only marble remaining, will get the advantage of the focus cam to try to give them one last chance to get those points. Dr. X bouncing through the 3/4 Steve, needs to watch out for the explosion, takes it right to the face like an absolute champ, is getting some air, manages to get them back down on the track without the bouncing, goes around the quarter bend here on the left-hand side, gets through, hits the half Steve, trying to get a good flick, but they're going backwards. Fortunately, no one's finished, so no 30-second wall of death to look out for, as Dr. X takes a full swing straight through the line, coming up on that right-hand side. It seems to be pretty good. 2 pins they're going to have to watch out for here. Good deflection to the left-hand side. Going to be hitting that corner that's going to push them out to the other side as they go through the wiggle-waggle, try to get a straight shot here, but it doesn't matter. They've made it down to the bottom. As long as nothing goes wrong, they should have it, and they do. Dr. X with a solo finish. Gonna be getting themselves all them points. 10 points in total. The other 8 participants gonna be losing 2 for not finishing. You hate to see it, but that's how it goes here on Redeemapalooza. Let's go into the second race. All right, as we take a look at this map, 1 minute going on the clock. Looks like we're going to start off immediately with a glory skip chance. If you can get enough speed and a perfectly timed jump, you could very well make it down to the bottom track, but that is going to be one heck of a leap. Again, a skip chance coming off of this bend here, a little bit easier to make, but not as good as the first one. Around the bend, past the bumps and trap doors, through the moguls, and around in past the explosions and pins before you get to the mogul, mustache, mogul, full Steve. And then you're going to get down past some more explosions, another mustache before a big line of obstacles. And then finally, last strip pan to double mustache. That's going to be a rough combo with explosions, full Steve, and mustache again. Is that 5 mustaches on one track? That's almost too many. And a molasses drip finish, the difficult of the 2 finishes that the marbles have to do. You need enough speed through those molasses strip squares to make it through the ring. Otherwise, you're going to fall short. So let's go to the top and see which of the 11 contestants is going to make it out through this one for Redeemapalooza. Here we go, the marbles are off, already getting themselves boosted out, and there we go, some damage being done right out of the gate, a couple bumps coming across, and Drahuska was going for the skip, but decides not to take it at the last second. Looks like Scorba's trying to jump. Grenzelos gets the jump, goes for the landing, and sticks the landing, and Grenzelos is going to be putting the screws to the competition. Because of the 30-second wall of death, the other marbles are only going to have 30 seconds to finish out this map. If Drahuska succeeds in finishing out this race, they're going to have to boost their little butts off, or hope Grenzelos does not make a finish on this run, as they are really going down it right now on the safe side of the Muggles, staying away from the windows. Drahuska and Peridot. No, Drahuska gets swamped through a fall-through door. Peridot trying to jump over and does so with a good landing out of the mustache into the second Steve, and coming down the bend. They are closing the gap on Grenzelos. Grenzelos might need to start boosting here as they go backwards in the mustache, and Peridot continues to try to close the gap, but that turbo mustache is giving Peridot a run for their money. Sensei Balker falls through the window. They're going to be not heard from ever again on this particular race as Peridot tries to find their way through the pins, getting a bad bounce. Grenzelos really struggling with double mustache right now, and that is going to let Peridot completely close up on that lead. And Grenzelos' skip is not going to be a guaranteed victory here, as they are really struggling with the current situation. Peridot already through one mustache, looks to be through a second mustache, but strikes backwards. Why are they striking instead of boosting? And now they're boosting into the wall, just bouncing back and forth. Spoontree got a pin shot up out of nowhere, and now Grenzelos approaching the final closing here. They're going to need enough speed to make it through, but Peridot is really closing down the gap. Can Grenzelos get the perfectly timed boost to get themselves in? They're going to fall short. No, Grenzelos hits the rim, did not boost, and they are going to pay the price. And now Peridot has full claim over the victory here if they can just find a way into the wind bin. There's the boost, perfectly timed, takes it home, and that's going to be Peridot. It's not always a guaranteed victory with the skip chances, as we just saw. And Peridot holding on to hope and takes the victory for the second race. Jaycliff needs the boost to get themselves into the ring. Oh, strikes instead. Why would you ever strike? Or was it just maybe a late boost and they were already going the other direction? Scorba gets a perfectly timed boost. Sinister for Hand gets the perfectly timed boost. And it looks like Chicken Roo and Linksling trying to just finish it out. No, the Wall Death says otherwise. Will be eliminated. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Just 3 finishers, only big points coming in for the second race there. So that's going to be Peridot jumping up into first place. Scorba holding second. Sinister now in third. And the rest not doing well. Oh, Dr. X is at 8 points, though. So Dr. X should be okay. That's what we have to sort it by points. That would make sense. We sorted it by points. All right, folks. That brings us up into the third race. Let's go. Get him in, get him in, get him in. 1 minute going up on the clock. Let's go over the track and see what we got on here. Oh my God. If you can find a way to do it, a good deflection off of these pins, either to the left or to the right, could get you a miracle skip chance right out of the gate. Otherwise, you got to go through the Steve, past the pins, through the 3/4 Steve, and past more pins before the long slalom with a half Steve, full Steve, mini Steve combo. That's going to get you into the straightaways with the 1 Steve obstacle through a little bit of a square bend. Going to get you past a couple pins and molasses strips before the pins, broken Steve, Plinko, molasses strip finish. So it's going to be a rough one. We'll see if anyone can get a miracle skip right out of the gate. But I'm not thinking it's going to be too easy for the competitors here. All right, 5 seconds counting down. 9 marblers ready to give it their all on the Redeemapalooza #1, the first ever. Let's see how they perform. Right out of the gate, Drahuska continuing to boost and put it through. They need to jump to try to get themselves across. Maybe they could use the Steve to go backwards and jump that way. We're going to see if anyone's going to go for it here. Grenzelos has an opportunity, doesn't do it. Sensei Balker might also have an opportunity. They could go for a swing around boost jump. No one's going to do it. They're all going to play it safe. They're just desperate for points at this point, and I don't blame them. It could be a good strategy to try to play it safe here, but Drahuska already taken an explosion to the face, launching them off of the map, and they will not be heard from for the rest of this race. Peridot, once again, boosting into the lead. Scorba trying to hold second. Ooh, a little bit of a weird bounce coming out of that half Steve there, but Peridot gets it turned around and goes straight through the other 2 remaining Steves, and almost a straight through on the last Steve. Oh, but a bad bounce and a bad boost. They've gone backwards, And the other marbles now have a chance to close the gap. J-Cliff, Scorba, Sinister, and Dr. X, Sensei, Balker all trying to get through that first half. Steve, it's really giving a lot of marbles a lot of trouble here. It could be just that perfect speed where it scoops them up every time they get close to exiting out. The other marbles just trying to find their way through. Peridot still not out of that last Steve. J-Cliff going to try to catch up as they go through on the right-hand side, and they're going to be through with just one bounce. Going to give Peridot a run for their money. Sinister with a perfectly timed boost straight through on the mini Steve and closing the gap in second. Looking to close the gap on first. Peridot trying to hold the lead as they go around the bend here into the long straightaway, and a good boost, perfectly timed, and they are going for it. Peridot absolutely rocketing through the straightaway there, and that's what you want to see. But Sinister answers back with the exact same play, and they are really going to put the pressure on Peridot now. It's J-Cliff Gaming in third, Scorba in fourth, just having a little bit of trouble with the straightaway there. Sinister seems to be holding pretty good, though. Peridot coming around the bend. Sinister needs to boost to keep up with Peridot. Peridot coming around into the last strip is getting caught up in the middle there. Sinister really getting slowed down by those pins. Needs to make some miracle happen right now. J-Cliff, Scorba, Grenzalos, and Chicken Roo really not having any success back in that last Steve there as they come up into the final approach. It's going to be Peridot with the broken Steve and a Blaster's Drip combo with the finish. A pin shot from Sensei Bulker just trying to make something happen at the last second, but it's not going to happen. Peridot times it perfectly. Sinister gives one last ditch effort to boost, but bounces over the top of the wall, and Peridot takes another victory, and with only 30 seconds left to go to finish this out, this could be absolutely catastrophic for the remaining marbles. Grenzalos, J-Cliff Gaming, and Chicken Roo need to find something. It's now or nothing. Just boost your little butts off and hope for the best. Grenzalos gets a boost, gets stuffed up the blast. It's just 5 seconds left to go. Can Grenzalos make a miracle happen? It doesn't look like it. They're going to be eliminated by the wall, and Chicken Roo really having trouble there. Both eliminated, and Peridot takes a solo victory for race number 3. And that is really going to cement Peridot at the top for the first half here at 18 points. They might even go for the strategy of not joining for a little bit to see if anyone else catches up without risking losing points themselves. But we got a couple triple shooters right here. J-Cliff, Chicken Roo, Grenzalos, Sensei Bulker, Droska, all with a solid -6. Let's go into the fourth race. Get him in, ladies and gentlemen. 1 minute going up on the clock. Race number 4. Here we go. Starting off with double Steve off the moguls. Pins around the bend into the full Steve. We got some more moguls, some more speed bumps. Mini Steve with a little bit of a wibbly wobbly straight through obstacle gauntlet. Got to be careful not to get a bad bounce going through that quickly. Going around past the explosion into the full Steve explosion combo. S-bend round the track with the molasses strip pan. More straightaway with the wiggle waggle. And another double Steve before the final approach on molasses strip finish. Is there a skip chance? Maybe. It's an angle. It's an ang. You're going to need to try to go for a slow roll, drift to the side, and then jump with the perfect angle. It can be done, but it's going to be tricky. Other option, potentially, a Steve flick to the left, jump straight to the wind bin. Let's see what the marbles are going to do here. 3 seconds ticking down. 9 competitors ready to give it their all on the 4th race of the Redeemapalooza number 1. Peridot is right out of the gate going for it. They've got the boost. They've got the swing. Is anyone going to try to go for the jump skip chance all the way to the finish right out of the gate? No one seems to be going for it right now. They're going around the bend. They might try it for a little one here. Droska going backwards. More marbles taking damage as they try to get themselves through. And it doesn't look like anyone's going for it. Peridot trying to get the bounce. Doesn't seem to have it. Chicken Roo could go for a jump to go for the skip chance if they could just find the courage to do so. Sinister of Hand in the lead right now in the mini Steve. The other marbles coming around. There's lots of opportunity for marbles to go for a perfectly timed jump. Sensei Bulker and Grenzalos get gapped by the window. But it doesn't look like anyone is going to be going for the jump shortcut. No, Sinister goes for it, or they were blasted by a pin. Peridot went for it, misses the landing. Sinister tries to strike to get themselves back on track, but it's to no avail. I don't know if that was a pin. I think that was this pin right here that just absolutely annihilated one of the two strongest competitors in this. Droska is having a lot of trouble right now. Not sure what the strategy is, but boy, are they trying. Over on the end, we got J-Cliff Gaming, Dr. X, and Scorba straight through the Steve all at the same time. Droska going backwards, needs to get themselves turned around to try to get this back on track here. It's J-Cliff, Scorba, and Dr. X all neck and neck for first place, just trying to find a way to get themselves in that straightaway without going too fast and jumping over the edge. Scorbo with a perfect line gets ahead of the other two into the double Steve. Looks like J Cliff gonna give him some damage being dealt between the two. Dr. X gets swiped but gets out in time, and all three coming down at the same time. It's gonna be a photo finish, ladies and gentlemen. J Cliff, Scorbo, and Dr. X. Who's gonna get the perfectly timed boost to get themselves the win? Man, it's Scorbo straight through on the first try. J Cliff gaming in second. Dr. X misses. Unfortunately, to no avail. That's going to leave the door open for Trahuska. Much need. No! Trahuska gets a pop-up and bounces off the track. You hate to see it. They were all lined up to finally get some positive points in third place. It could have got them back to 0. And Chicken Roo manages to miracle themselves over the window there, but they need to boost to get enough speed to hit the ring. No! Too late on the boost. Chicken Roo falls to their death. And that's just going to be 2 finishers on the 4th race of the night here. It's going to be Scorba in first, J Cliff in second. Let's take a look at what that does to the leaderboard. Peridot losing those 2 points. And perhaps they shouldn't have joined because now Scorba's in striking distance. Just 3 points behind. Excuse me, 1 point behind. But the other marbles with a lot more work ahead of them. Let's go into the 5th race and see how we're going to manage out on this one. Okay, the 5th track, a nice teal carpet, one of my favorite textures that I don't get to use very often in pass the speed bumps. Around the broken Steve, 3/4 Steve, lots of bends, lots of turns, explosions, broken Steve, bit of a straightaway with a lot of wiggle waggle woo. Gonna get you past a couple more bumps, a couple more pins, half Steve explosion window combo. That's gonna get you a couple more explosions and S-bends around the bend. It doesn't look like it's a lot of stuff in your way. It's just gonna be a matter of getting through it all quickly. And a guaranteed finish on the end there, so that is good. This is gonna be a speed test for sure. Let's see which of our competitors is going to be able to pull it off this time. Whew. I'm going to be out of breath by the end of this. Also, do we like the red-black combo? I think it was fitting, kind of diabolical. Because it's kind of like the Derby, which is white and black. So I went with the red and black. I don't know, it works. Ladies and gentlemen, 9 competitors boosting right out of the gate, trying to get through, and Peridot snuffs it through that window immediately. Out for glory, and they have achieved it. Druska into the 3/4 Steve, patiently waiting for the opportunity to boost ahead. The other marbles getting through with a pretty good line and pretty good timing. Chicken Roo still in the back, just continuing to have trouble here tonight. Druska, though, with another perfectly timed boost through the broken Steve. Grenzenlos holding second, and Sensei Balkler in third. Again, there is not a lot of stuff in the way of the marbles here, so without any bouncy track obstacles, I think the marbles should be able to just boost their way through everything. Sinister and Sensei immediately eliminated after saying that. Druska holding Scorbo falls through another window. Dr. X is really struggling in the back with that broken Steve there. J Cliff gets knocked out through the opening, and now we're down to just 4. It's Droska continuing to boost through, desperate to try to get some positive points where they otherwise have not been able to get them. Grenzelos in second place with a good cushion on the other two of Chicken Roo and Dr. X. But oh my God, Droska double boosts off a pin shot out of oblivion, and once again has been denied. It's Grenzelos now poised for first place and some majorly needed points. No boosts over the top of the speed bumps to their death, just like Droska did not a moment ago. And now Chicken Roo, of all people, is most poised to have a victory here. Dr. X with a little bit of a jump strike. It seems to have worked in their favor, keeping themselves on the track somehow, and poised for second place. Here comes Chicken Roo around the bend. Needs to watch out. That is one hell of a pin. And actually, the pin decides to wait for some unexplicable reason to let Chicken Roo pass. Dr. X now approaching that pin as Chicken Roo is coming themselves into the guaranteed finish. A perfect bounce off the end, straight down the middle. Chicken Roo finally securing some positive points, taking the big one home. Dr. X slowly working their way through the pins, looking to make it happen. Just needs to get themselves into the bin here. I think they've got it even with 20 seconds. They're going to be able to make it down to the bottom in time, take that second place position, and take those extra points. And ladies and gentlemen, the leaderboard really is starting to live up here. Let's take a look at how we stand. Currently, Peridot holding first by a nail. Scorbo right behind by 1 point, but both losing points in that one. Dr. X shoots up into third now at 11 points, and Chicken Roo, erasing all of their negative points so far, has put themselves up into fourth place with a positive 2. let's go into the 6th race. This will be our halfway point, ladies and gentlemen. Halfway. Here we go. All right, our 6th race, we've got, once again, Speed Bump Double Steve Explosion Combo. It's a rough way to start, but that's been our 2nd time we've had that start tonight. Going across some some moguls, going around with some pins and S-bends, some more moguls. Plinko board before the Explosion 3/4 Steve. A good straightaway there with even a skip chance potential. There's a couple skip chances here. A skip chance over on this edge could get you through, but you're going to need some speed to make it. We got the Broken Steve Explosion Combo and a long straightaway with 3 half Steves and a double Steve Explosion at the end before the molasses drip finish. So this is going to be a bit of a technical exercise here between whether or not you go for the shortcut and how well you can manage a triple half Steve straightaway, and then also time the finish with that molasses drip. So here we go. 8 marbles ready to commit for Redeemapalooza number 1. Chicken Roo, Cesar Androskas, J Cliff Gaming, Peridot Gonzalos, and Dr. X all ready to go. And Peridot once again boosting right out of the gate. Really good at getting those early starts, but not as good at staying on the track. Looks like a couple marbles going backwards after that explosion in the double Steve. The rest of the marbles continue to push forward. Gonzalos loses their patience and nerve, falls off the map, as does Peridot. And now for the skip chances. Anyone going to go for the skip chance here? We got Sinister, Droska, Chicken Roo, and J Cliff Gaming with a possible attempt at this jump. Here comes Droska, bouncing back and forth wildly like an absolute mad woman. J Cliff Gaming coming around in 3rd, looking to overtake Droska. Chicken Roo in 4th. The marbles coming around. Are any of them going to go for the jump? I think Chicken Roo, Spoontree, or Dr. X should go for the jump as they are so far behind right now, but Sinister of Hand takes an explosion right in, and right out they go. Dr. X decides to just fall out of the map and says, Spoontree, one last chance to go for the jump. Skip chance. Will they go for it? No! And the 4 remaining marbles are going to take it the slow way. Here we go. Down the straightaway. Number 1, J Cliff in the lead. Droska in 2nd. Chicken Roo going backwards. It's Spoontree closing the gap in 3rd right now. J Cliff seems to have a pretty good line. Droska trying to take it steady. Doesn't want to bounce off the map like they have in the previous attempts here. J Cliff Gaming in 1st place, just taking it slow. Into Broken Steve they go. Droska tries to go for the straight shot through. How did they dodge the explosion there? I'm not quite sure. But Droska, immune to the explosion, overtakes J Cliff coming out of the Broken Steve. Chicken Roo and Spoontree now coming up into that Broken Steve, and here it is, the straightaway triple half Steve. Let's see what's going to happen. Some damage being dealt between J Cliff and Droska as they go around on this half Steve, both going backwards right now. Chicken Roo poised to challenge 1st place. There goes Droska with the dead drop through the 1st one, dead drop through the 2nd one, and a dead drop through the 3rd one, but they boosted when they didn't need to, and that's going to cause them to slow down. But J Cliff's not doing much better as they come around into the double Steve. Droska with a good boost, trying to hold that lead. J Cliff in 2nd, Chicken Roo swinging around on that 1st half Steve. In the final approach is Droska as they come down into the molasses strip. They're going to need to time it perfectly to get themselves into the windbin. Can they do it? It looks good. They hit the edge, but they rim it in, and it's off the post for 1st place finish with Droska. J Cliff trying to get through. Beautiful bounce into 2nd place right across the line. And now it's going to be Chicken Roo and Spoontree just trying to finish it out with the last remaining 15 seconds. Here comes Chicken Roo round the bend. Will they have enough speed to get themselves in the ring? Oh, it looks good. They didn't even need to boost. Chicken Roo slicing and dicing straight through like an absolute champion. And Spoontree getting the benefit of the follow cam on their last attempt here. No, time's up. They're out of here. Droska finally netting a victory and getting themselves some positive points. Is enough to put them past 0? Let's find out. The answer is no. They have reached 0. They have reached 0. Congratulations. Peridot still in the lead. Dripping away that victory, though. Down to 12 points. Dr. X down to 9. Chicken Roo, though, starting to get up there in 3rd place with 6. Tied with J Cliff Gaming. And now Droska at 0 with a chance to launch into the top 3. Here we go. Race number 7. Get him in. 1 minute going up on the clock. Oh my goodness. We got ourselves a map, ladies and gentlemen. Right out of the gate, a beautiful skip chance into double Steve. We got Plinko and moguls coming around that double Steve. Explosions, pins, moguls bouncing around. More moguls coming around the bend, and more skip chances. Skip chance here, skip chance here, skip chance here. Coming around past the bend with a bunch of Kirby Plinko window moguls. Coming down past the full Steve, we got more Plinko, we got more speed bumps, we got full Steve, 3/4 Steve, we got moguls, we got half Steve, explosion, 3/4 Steve, full Steve with an explosion, and then a molasses strip finish right at the end. This is going to be a definite exciting race between the skip chances and the close finish. Let's see what's going to happen with our competitors now. Don't forget Sinister Hand. At the very end, increase in points, where almost anyone will have a chance to win. It's never over till it's over. Here we go. 8 competitors ready to make it happen for Redeemapalooza. Number 1, we got Paradox, Corba, J-Cliff Gaming, and Dr. X. And there it is, J-Cliff immediately for the skip chance. You gotta love the go-get-em attitude. Droska following suit, not to any avail, unfortunately. But now the marbles coming around into the double Steve. It's Paradox Gorba tied for first. Here comes Chicken Roo in third, who's been creeping up steadily in the entirety of the second half of this competition. But now they're already through the double Steve. Chicken Roo and Granzalos. Dr. X gets a good boost and good time and coming around. And all of the marbles are really doing well right now. Granzalos rocking it out. I think that was a pin shot. Has been sent into oblivion by the map. Unfortunate. Peridot still holding first. Scorba trying to keep up in second with well-timed boost. A chance for a skip here if anyone wants to go for it, but it's going to be perfectly timed. And Peridot did it, but it's bouncy track on the dismount. I don't believe it. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but they went for it, finally got through, and unfortunately the bouncy track landing was not going to let them take it home. And now we're down to just 3. The window has claimed a lot of lives already. Looks like Chicken Roo, Dr. X's sister are going to take it real slow around that window just to make sure they don't fall through to their death, and that seems to be the wise decision. Chicken Roo into the Steve in first, but Dr. X's sister hand are literally right behind. All 3 exiting the Steve at the same time, and now it's just going to be a mad dash to the finish between all of these Steve blades. Here we go. Chicken Roo, first one out of the Blinko board. Dr. X and Sinister, they all seem to be following the exact same line. They need to be careful. Oh my goodness, a blast from Sinister to the back of Dr. X actually gave them enough speed to make it across the window where they otherwise wouldn't have, and that's going to be a miraculous saving of Dr. X by Sinister of hand there. Looks like all 3 continue to push through. A little bit of damage being dealt as they start to smack each other up and down, trying to get past those moguls. But Dr. X seems to have found the timing and found the line to get themselves through. They take the barrel straight to the face without even noticing what happened. Coming around, but they're into the 3/4 Steve, and they get a really bad bounce, and they are going backwards. Chicken Roo does not get the exit. Sinister of hands getting the dismount, coming up into the final Steve. If they can watch out for the explosion, they seem to do it. Looks like Chicken Roo and Dr. X are having a lot of trouble finishing out this race. Sinister of hand needs to get the perfectly timed boost. They boosted a little early. They're going to need to boost again. Can they get it in time to finish out the race? No, they're out of there, and it's Dr. Rex all alone with the benefit of the follow cam to try to get that victory here. 10 points on the line. If Dr. X can just find their way in, they got to time that boost perfectly. They're coming in perfect line. They might not even need to boost. They diagonal through. Look at that. Beautifully done. Dr. X showing them how it's done, taking a well-deserved victory and putting themselves on the board. Let's see what we got after that race. 19 points in total for Dr. X, storming into the lead. Gonna put Scorba's 11 to shame. Peridot dips down to 3rd place now at 10 points. You hate to see it, but it's still far from over, ladies and gentlemen. 5 more races to go. Let's get into it. Number 8 coming at you. Let's do it. All right, here we go. Race number 8. Coming around through the speed bumps and the last drip pan, double explosion pin. And we got some more moguls coming around. We got some Plinko and some moguls. Explosion, moguls, or speed bump with the window. 3/4 Steve coming through. Explosion, pins, more speed bumps with the window coming through. We got the Plinko, we got the half Steve, we got the mogul speed bump window, we got the Plinko, we got the double Steve, we got the straight shot all the way down, broken Steve explosion, and a guaranteed finish in the wind bin. We could see maybe someone go for a sneaky little Steve hop to try to get ahead a couple places right at the end, but other than that, no real skip chances to be heard from, so this is going to be a speed round. Let's see how the marbles fare. All right, 8 marbles ready to go, and it looks like Grenzenlos is going to be going for a redeemless run here, which, as we've seen, can do very well, at least in terms of finishing. Having a little bit of trouble getting past that molasses drip, but the marbles are now going through into the main portion of the track. And a lot of speed, no surprise from Peridot, who has that trigger finger on the boost button. Ooh, but a bad bounce through the Plinko is going to send them backwards, and they need to reorient themselves before they start boosting again. Droska's going to take over in first place. Scorba in second. It looks like we've got lots of other marbles now coming through into that Plinko line. And Droska is really rocketing ahead right now. Scorba tries to close the gap with a good boost across the moguls, coming down into the three-quarter Steve. Droska can't find their way out. Scorba tries to go for the straight through, but catches the tail end of that three-quarter Steve, but does manage to sneak out right before getting swiped by. Peridot trying to find the line, can't quite find it, but they will get a good thrust from the Steve blade to get themselves out of there. In third place, Scorba in second, Droska in first as they try to get down to the long straightaway here. Lots of ground to be made up right now. Droska continuing to boost with well-timed perfection. Here comes Scorba in second with a chance to close the gap. Peridot in third, also boosting. Looks like they're doing pretty well as they go in, and Droska gets completely denied by the half Steve, ends up going backwards as the other marbles try to struggle through. Chicken Roo, Dr. X, Grenzelos, and Sinister Hand not having any success in the back right now. Dr. X gets windowed. They will be eliminated. Here comes Peridot. One again trying to get through on that half Steve, but no, loses their composure and launches themselves right out of the map. Never to be heard from again. Scorba and Droska neck and neck trying to finish this out. Double Steve dismount. Droska to the left, Scorba to the right. Scorba gets a bad bounce off the wall. Droska with a goodly time boost right through the middle. Coming around on the bend, Scorba with a chance to go for it. Are they going to settle for second, or they go for a miracle skip chance right at the end? Droska straight shots it right down the middle, takes the victory, and now Scorba looking to just secure that victory now. They're going to get a little bit of a boost off of these corners that are sticking out around the bend, and I think that's going to put Scorba straight through for second place. Chickaroo and Grenzelos with a chance to close it here. There goes Scorba, go looking for the deflection, and they've got it for the straight shot down, and Scorba takes the straight shot for second place. Chickaroo once again going for third. It seems to be their strategy here, taking it slow and steady and just settling for those third place finishes. Those points do add up in the end, and we'll see if that strategy is successful by the end here. But the wall of death showing no mercy, going to kill both of them, unfortunately, before they could even get there. So Chicken Roo taking a little too slow on that one. And that means only 2 finishers for our 9th race. That was the 9th race? I thought it was, no, it's the 8th race, right. Because we definitely didn't have one race in the beginning that didn't count. Right. For the 8th race, that's going to put Scorba in the lead. At 18, Dr. X drops down into 17. Again, joining when you're in the lead has not proven profitable, unfortunately. Grenzelos doing really well. A flawless record, even when they're not here. Amazing. The 9th race coming at you, ladies and gentlemen. Get your marbles in. And here we go. 1 minute going up on the clock. Let's take a look at the map. Ooh. We got some juice here, ladies and gentlemen. Moguls right out of the start. Excuse me, speed bumps. Going across more speed bumps into Explosion, Broken Steve. Speed bumps, Moguls, Full Steve. Pins, Moguls, speed bumps, Mustache. Through the Wiggle Waggles. In past the Moguls, 3/4 Steve, a little bit of a bend. Full Steve, Molasses Drip coming around the bend with those speed bumps. Coming around on Moguls again. Lots of curving lines before you hit the speed bumps one more time. Broken Steve, Half Steve combo on the bend with the Mogul Molasses Drip Plinko speed bump combo. That's going to get you finally past the final Steve into the straight shot with a guaranteed finish and potentially a mother of all boost, jump, skip chance dunk shots right there on that corner. Be interesting to see if anyone goes for it. Let's go to the top and see which of our competitors is going to have what it takes for the victory here on the 9th race of the night. And the marbles are off. 7 of them going down into the line. Looks like Sinister's got a pretty good start. Bouncing, launching, rocketing, jumping, bouncing again. Sinister, one too many bounces. The bouncy track gets him in the end. But a valiant effort here to start off the race. Lots of good speed coming out of the marbles right out of the gate. Looks like it's going to be a little too bad on the timing, though, for Peridot as they get swallowed up by the window in the middle of the speed bumps there. Droska gets through the Mustache in first place. Chicken Roo once again slow and steady in second. Scorba in third. Jay Cliff in fourth. And Dr. X all the way back in 5th place as they approach the Mustache now. Droska coming up into the 3/4 Steve. Chicken Roo round the bend. Gets the bad timing. He's going to have to go back and try again. Droska into the full Steve looking for the Molasses Drip with Scorba, Jay Cliff, and Dr. X. Not too far behind, but they might need to start boosting if they want to close the gap. Chicken Roo bouncing off. Through the Steve they go with a good dismount into Molasses Drip. Druska continuing to boost with pretty good timing and keeping themselves in a comfortable lead. Oh, but once again, Druska thwarted by the boost over the bounce of the speed bumps into their death. You hate to see it for the 5th time tonight, but there it is. Scorba right into the window like they didn't even care. Jaycliff is going to have the same exact line, but manages to luck out on the timing. Not the case for the second approach. Dr. X all alone. Once again, we've seen this before. Dr. X just likes to hang in the back and be the last one alive. If other marbles finish, they usually die by the wall. But in these situations where everyone else is dead, it seems to work out for him. Dr. X needs to be careful. Perfect timing across both windows. A bit of a bad bounce off of the diamond there as they go past the moguls. But they are really getting through with some speed. But it's not about speed, it's about finishing. Will they be able to do so? The follow cam bonus for Dr. X. Looking to have another solo victory here if they could just stay alive. So many things happened so quickly. I think they bounced 3 different times just as the window opened up. And that was just a perfect storm of bullshit. No finishers for race number 9, which means everyone who participated has lost points. Going to be very interesting to see how that works with the leaderboard here. We got some sleepers, though. Be careful. Some people with some points haven't joined every race, and they're going to be trying to snipe some things later on. Well, let's go into race number 10. Just 2 more normal races before the big race at the end here, folks. Let's see what's going to happen. 1 minute goes up on the clock. Let's take a look at the... Oh, my God. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. We got speed bumps. We got Plinko. We got plenty of skip chance opportunity all in here with even a perfect skip chance straight into the wind bin moment coming out of that double Steve. Otherwise, you're going around past the mustache, 3/4 Steve. We got the moguls. We got more Ben's double Steve explosion combo. Speed bumps, explosion, mini Steve, moguls with the speed bumps coming across another mini Steve. And finally, through a bunch more speed bumps and moguls before the Molasses Drip finish. That is perfectly lined up. It's asking for a skip chance. Who's gonna do it? Who's it gonna be? I was tempted to join myself and do it myself, but I'll let you guys have the glory. 8 marbles for the 10th race of the Redeemapalooza number 1. Thank you all for coming out. Hope you're having some fun. I am, and immediately Peridot boosts over the speed bumps to their death. You could have saw that one coming. You thought they were Jahuska for a second, and here we go. Skip chance number 1. This one might be a little bit safer, but definitely not going to be as glorious. Jaycliff has the speed. They could go for it. Chicken Roo, Sinister Head, Dr. X, Krezelos already, and Jaycliff goes for it. Tries to jump. Gets it through, but needs to jump again. The other marbles coming up at the same time. Is anyone going to be able to go for the skip chance of all skip chances? Droska has the perfect timing. Krezelos, Scorba with a chance to go for it. Scorba, you got to jump. Go for it. No, not going to be any skip chances happening here. It was all lined up, but everyone got cold feet. No, Droska's going backwards, trying to go for it. Oh my goodness, and Krezelos blasted into oblivion. Scorba falls with a straight chop down, but not going to be able to land on the track there. And it's just going to be death all over the place. Down to 5. We got Jaycliff Gaming, Chickaroo, Sinister, Droska, and Dr. X. Lining it up for the 3/4 Steve. Looks like Droska's been doing a lot of damage in this battle, but not doing so well in the placement. And Dr. X gets the comeuppance on Droska and just steamrolls him without taking a single scratch. And that's got to be embarrassing for Droska. Jaycliff with a big explosion and a lot of damage, towing through in first place. Sinister Hand right behind in second. Chickaroo and Dr. X having trouble with the double Steve. Jaycliff needs to watch out for the explosions. They go through on the right-hand side. More damage being dealt. Both marbles dangerously close to being eliminated. And there it is. Sinister just smushes Jaycliff into the center of the Steve and leaves absolutely nothing left. Chickaroo explosion blowing Dr. Rex back and taking the advantage forward. What a power play from Chicken Roo there. Disabling the competition behind and catching up to the competition in front. Trying to get a straight through on the mini Steve, but not going to be able to do it. But Sinister Hand's having trouble as well. And they're both going to go through at about the same time with a chance to boost themselves into victory here with the Molasses Drip finish. Dr. X way in the back. Needs to find a way through that mini Steve. Sinister with a perfectly timed boost around the bend. Here comes Chicken Roo in second, though, as Sinister goes backwards on the moguls. Chicken Roo needs to make a miracle happen if they want to go for first place. place, or maybe they're just going to stick to their slow and steady strategy to try to go for regular points here. Sinister perfectly times the boost, bouncing off the center into the victory for first place. Chickaroo with a chance for second, but they're going to need to boost to get them through. They don't have enough speed. No! Lips the rim, falls to the death. Chickaroo a little too slow for their own good. And once again, Dr. X taking it slow and steady. I think they actually hit it. They didn't go all the way through, but they rolled over enough on the rim. It will count. And that's going to change things quite a bit here. Dr. Rex sniping it with their patented strategy of waiting for everyone else to die and this, taking whatever points are left over. 22 points for Dr. Rex. Scorba down to 14. Sinister trying to get into the positives here. And Grenzenlos, remarkable, even though they missed a race, still perfect negative point score for the races they've been in. All right, folks, this is the final regular race. The last one before the big one. We'll see if Dr. X decides to sit it out to just go for a smooth victory here. 1 minute going off on the clock. Let's go over the track. Looking pretty good right out of the gate. Coming up in the Moguls and Plinko with a beautiful skip chance and a nice full Steve platform to land in. Otherwise, you're going around past the speed bumps and Moguls, getting through the half Steve around the bend, and then another skip chance into the same exact Steve, or a skip chance way down if you can get enough speed and a high enough jump. Maybe even a big jump over to the wind bin. Otherwise, you go down past the speed bump and the Steve, round the bend, through the straight line with lots of speed bumps all the way down. Another potential skip chance right here if you want to make a last-ditch effort toward the end of the race. Otherwise, you got to go through quadruple speed bumps into the wind bin, guaranteed finish. This is going to be a dicey one. Get your marbles in, 10 seconds going. All right, here we go. The marbles out. Once again, Peridot boosting right out of the gate blindly. Has not worked for them most of the time, but the times it does work, it certainly does work. A skip chance potential here if anyone wants to go for it. Scorba's already eliminated. And it's going to be J-Cliff going for the jump, but did not have enough forward momentum. And they're not going to be able to stick the landing. Window open. Peridot tries to jump over it. Jumps a little too high. Dr. X goes straight in it. Sinister almost follows suit. And just like that, we are down to 2. Drahuska in the lead. Doesn't even need to go for the skip chance. Sinister Hand might want to go for a skip chance, though, to try to close the gap because they are more than 30 seconds behind Drahuska right now. And they go around the bend into the straight shot of the Steve. Drahuska gets a good bounce. Look at that quintuple ricochet action to get through that Steve as quickly as possible. Sinister Hand gets a good line around the outside, making sure they stay alive with a good set of boosts here. Drahuska coming around the bend. Sinister Hand going the wrong way in the Steve, and they're going to be bouncing absolutely insane at the entrance there. Drahuska continuing to boost, really putting the pressure on Sinister. Drahuska does not need to be boosting right now, but they're doing it to put Sinister in the shakes, and it seems to be working as Sinister can't even get through that Steve, and finally they get through the bounce. They almost bounce over the edge, but they catch it at the last second, and they might go for a skip chance here on the final bend if they can time it perfectly. Drahuska going through, Sinister approaching the chance to go for the jump skip chance to get the victory here. Drahuska come down to the center. No, Sinister misses the opportunity to jump for it, and it's going to be Drahuska solidifying the win slow and steady, and now Sinister just needs to find a way to finish before the 30 seconds are up. Drahuska circling around, taunting Sinister. We'll see if that's going to catch him in the end, and Sinister will get the benefit of the follow cam at the end here. Bouncing once, bouncing twice, needs to be careful. Oh, the trapdoor closes just in time, but they're rolling down the middle. A perfectly timed boost to get past the other 3 windows, down to the center with 18 seconds left to go, but they go backwards. Needs to do it. Oh my God, Sinister, what are you doing? Go again. They got to get themselves down. Just 9 seconds left to go. They got to find a way to get themselves into the center here. Can they do it? Too much speed. They need to strike. They need to do something. No, time's up. Sinister squanders it, and Drahuska is going to take a solo victory on the final regular race of the evening. Redeemapalooza number 1 is going to the finals, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at everything we have going here to the official leaderboard as it currently stands. In first place, Dr. X with 20, Drahuska with 14, Scorba with 12, Peridot with 2, the rest in the negatives, including Grenzenlo's perfect negative score, 9 races, 9 deaths. It doesn't get much better than that. However, the final race will cost you 5 points to join, but big points on the payout. A net of 5 if you finish 5th through 1st, getting really big points. A total swing of 20 points. Let's see what that means for the leaderboard here. With 20 points, everyone at Sinister Hand and up could take it. Spoontree, Sensei, and Grenzenlos, I'm sorry. You're in the long shot. You could at least podium. But as it stands right now, 8 competitors have a chance to take the victory here. Or Dr. X could be a jerk and not join and reduce the odds of those who can win. Let's do it. Oh, and we got a juicy one. And we got a juicy one. Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, coming right out of the gate, a molasses drip with a, if you can get a slow roll jump to the right-hand side, you can cut out a lot of time. Going down past the double Steve, molasses drip, Plinko, round the bend. Really good straight shots here. Lots of boosting to get you through, but do be careful not to bounce off of those speed bumps over the corners. Speed bump, mogul, molasses drip combo, full Steve, another big long straightaway into the mogul, broken Steve, mogul, or excuse me, speed bump, broken Steve, speed bump combo. Another broken Steve around the bend. Look out for the explosions, Plinko on the end, and a guaranteed finish, so no skip chance available other than the very beginning, which is not going to decide it, but definitely could give you the boost you need to take that victory. Let's get the 1 minute on the clock to give everyone one last chance to join to make it count here and see who's going to take the victory for the first ever Redeemapalooza. We do this every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern, so be sure to drop by if you're watching this on YouTube to catch it live and participate yourself and have some fun here on the Shens TV. Thank you all for coming out. Hope you had a wonderful time. We're going to see who's going to take the victory here. It should be very interesting. Lots at stake right now. 8 competitors with a chance to take it. We'll see who that ends up being in the end. Last chance to join. Time ticking down. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the final race of Redeemapalooza number 1. Thank you again for being here. Let's see who's taking it home tonight. Peridot immediately out of the boost as usual. Droska and Scorba just got rocketed by a pin. Where are they going? No one knows. All right, Droska in the lead. Peridot in second. Grezlos in third. Sinister, Chickaroo, Jaycliff, all doing well right now. And it does look like Dr. X has elected not to join and try to win by default. A power play move. We'll see if it bites him in the end as the marbles continue to try to make it happen. Peridot coming around with really good boosts on these straightaways. Needs to not jump over the edge. They're very close with Peridot coming around the bed. A big pin blast, and Peridot falls through the map. Sinister going for a miracle skip chance with the pin shot. Falls to their death, doesn't get anywhere. And Droska now in first place with Chicken Roo and Jaycliff. And Grenzenlos tied for second. Looks like it's a good line through the molasses chip for Droska. And Jaycliff falls through the window. Grenzenlos and Chicken Roo, the last 2 remaining in the back as Huska struggles with this main single Steve. Here comes Grenzenlos and Chicken Roo. Perfect timing. Gonna get a nice dismount out of there. Droska gets a good boost on the next straightaway. Needs to not go through the window as they approach the broken Steve. It looks good. They're coming across an open window. They jump over the top, but they hit the explosion. And that's going to slow him down just a little bit. Grenzenlos looking for a boost. Jumps over window 1, jumps over window 2, as does Chicken Roo. Beautiful line from all 3 marbles, really dodging those windows appropriately. As we come up into the final approach, it's Huska across the center, but the window opens, swallows them whole, and there goes Chicken Roo, and it's Grenzenlos of all people, which I think means Dr. X power play has won. It's going to be Grenzenlos, who has died every single race this entire time, taking the final victory, which means absolutely nothing and changes nothing. And Grenzenlos finally achieving victory when it means the absolute least. Let's go to the official results and see what it stands. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first ever Redeemapalooza, we have in third place Scorba with a beautiful marble. My God, that's gorgeous. That's dark crystal on a mine with a Chinese New Year's dragon tail. In second, Drahuska, who has somehow managed to stay alive in second place. And in first, it's Dr. Rex with the power play move of not joining. Doesn't even have a skin. Look at this. Look at this. Doesn't even have a skin. And that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Grenzenlos jumps up into fourth place, finally seeing the positive integers thanks to a big win on the end, but unfortunately nothing doing for anyone else. Well done, everyone. This has been a fantastic night. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. And we'll see you next and every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Shins TV.